Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What up, what up? What's up, man? What's good? What up? What's up? Al, what up, dude? Joe, Sangster, Don, what's up, dude? Romeo, Chuck, Son, Aldo, Paul, Alvaro, what up, brother? What is up, man? Are you drunk? I don't know. Are you drunk, bro? I'm still sick, though. But yeah, I'll talk about this, man. I said I was going to come live and talk about it. I'll give it a little bit, though. Oh, yeah. It's that 3D chart, baby. I'll give you a little bit of a perspective here. You know what I mean? It just looks bad. I don't know, bro. Something about this chart, man. You already know. You already know how it works. You got that projector pattern in the making, baby. That's what it is. Now, let me change this. Get it all the way up. There we go. Green. So there it is. That is your projector. Right here. Let's look at this chart in 3D, baby. Okay? Right here. Alright, then we bounce. We fucking go, alright? That's pretty trippy, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty trippy. I'll take it out for a minute. This. What up, Justin? Yeah, a lot of people are not a big fan of the 3D chart. They're not, but it's all good. Marisol, what's up? Sean, Burger Time, Max, Chris, what up, brother? Alex, what's up, dude? What up, my guy? All right. Let me get on that lo-fi real quick. All right. What's up, guys? How you doing? How you doing today? fucking thing. All right. Let me get the chat in here as well. There we go. What up, what up? Wesley, how you doing, dude? Hoping for some upside. Me too, man. I'm fucking tired of this shit, but it is what it is, man. We gotta look at the, you know, we gotta look at the setup and hope that, you know, with time, things set up to be where they're at, right? So I think, personally, I think this setup couldn't be more perfect. Even though we have, so we did have some upside yesterday after hours. Ethereum Classic, if you guys saw that, there was a spike right on that time. So, and obviously we got shorted right after that, but I found that pretty interesting that there was a spike right after hours on that time, which was weird. But now we are coming back down, and what I'm looking at is this level right here. Okay, let's go on the 1 hour, no, 2 hour, let's get it. Yeah, so I'm looking at this level again, guys. We do have this arc pattern right here, and we should be bouncing off here at some point, right, in the near future. And that is going to set this thing up, dude, to rip, in my opinion. Again, you have to look at these levels as well. We got this right here. Okay, symmetrical. We come back here. We do get a little bit of a cup. Giant cup, handle. Okay. I think that's going to be it, dude. I think that's going to be it. If we come back to this AMC TA setup, psychological TA is what I like to call it, because we don't control the way the patterns look, the institutions do. So this is what I'm looking at here. Again, we have the little projector patterns. This is going to be a larger one. You can even tell, guys, right back here, the projector pattern was bigger in this way, and right here I think we would have had, you know, upside maybe to 100 and then done like another cycle, but this one's gonna be a lot larger. Okay, so if we come back here, if you guys just saw that Twitter post, I said I was gonna come in here and explain it. Okay, the reason why we're not in November, January, or June is because every setup that you have is obviously at a different price point. Here, right, we were at $1. Here we were at $2. Back here we were at 12. Okay, right here we're dealing with 30. So as the projector gets bigger, okay, it's not only going to be bigger in height, larger in height, but it's going to be larger in length, time-wise. So your X and your Y axis are going to make a bigger projector. That's why it's really hard to, you know, trust a setup like this, you know, and say that it goes with it. Not impossible, but if this was the case, then I would be looking at a lot smaller run-up. Because I do believe that the projector does reflect itself on the run-up, and it's what makes the next cycle what it is, right? So the fact that this projector is going to be bigger means that if we do, you know, exceed that threshold and this thing goes, we're expected to go a lot higher than the previous run-ups. Okay, these are all tiny projectors, guys, compared to this one. You can tell they're growing in size. This one's going to be a lot bigger, meaning that it's going to be a lot more powerful. Hey, thank you, man. So they're gonna, yeah, it's likely that they do stall this play for a little bit. I mean, it's not a big deal. Again, you know, April might just be some sideways trading until maybe mid-April time. You might start to see Ethereum Classic go up around this time right here, April 10th maybe, and just crypto in general might have a bit of a rally before breathing up once these all the meme stocks start going up. And you're gonna see the same thing happen, guys. You're gonna see the meme stocks go up or crypto go up first, and then one's going to dump while the other starts to rally. I personally think that we're gonna get the meme stocks going up. Like, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get a surge in crypto, and then it's going to dump. And then I think meme stocks are going to have their squeeze, and then once they squeeze, you know, everything that people gain off of this will be thrown into crypto, or at least a majority will. Because just think about it, man. Your average retail investor on AMC is into crypto, and they know that majority of people are going to kind of stray away from the stock market and just go crypto. So I don't know. I feel like that would really pump the whole crypto market. Everybody's gonna go crazy over it. And I still see Bitcoin going up. The entire crypto. Yeah, we're not playing. So the way I look at it, man, is we're playing out April is what we're playing out. We are in a unique setup here. Okay, just like, you know, there was a unique setup back here, a unique setup here, and a unique setup here. The thing about patterns is you can't necessarily just stretch one out and, you know, fit it. If it fits, great, but you need to really calculate, okay, the way that these things are set up. Okay, we have here on, where is my chart? This one, which I was playing around with. But here we have, you know, we have these circles here that we use to calculate the fractals, because with a heavily manipulated stock, okay, you're gonna have to calculate the patterns if you're gonna stretch them out or shrink them according to, because if you're driving the price through the option chain, you want to make sure that you make these TA setups according to that time frame that you're trying to fit it in. So if you're trying to make a flag in 8 months, okay, if you're gonna take that pattern and you're gonna compare it to, you know, intraday or whatever, or, you know, that week, you have to do it according to the option expiration dates, or else, just think about it, guys. You can't just slow the algorithm as it's coming in. You can't just be like, all right, I'm gonna slow it right here and then, you know, go down or whatever, right? No, it's a time frame. It's steady sine waves. All right, what this is going to tell you is if it's not working out in that specific time frame, then what you're looking at is a different TA setup is what it is. Like, instead of it being, let's say that you were looking at a cup and handle originally, right, and then it doesn't play out to be a cup and handle and it starts to come back down, right? Well, now you have, on a macro, you have more of a double bottom setup, right? Or, I don't know, maybe it could have been like a head and shoulders, something like that. It's sometimes you have to zoom out to sort of see the bigger picture, because there's a lot of different setups that you can come up with, and it's just this is why, like, when we take Ethereum Classic, dude, and we compare it, you know, sometimes we have to keep on looking back, because, you know, you could be tracking 8 days ahead, you could be tracking 3 days ahead. The pattern is just constantly evolving. So until we get a bigger picture of what's happening, it's going to be a little bit harder to tell where we are in that cycle. So it's hard, dude. It's hard, but it's fucking real, dude. It is real. Yeah, it is, because crypto is 24/7. From what I know, though, is that the previous cycle that we had with Ethereum Classic. Okay, we had, so I'm gonna bring it up here. The previous cycle tracked about 28 days apart. So I'm gonna take the entire run up here, and then we're gonna just hide everything. Is the music kind of loud? I feel like it's a little loud. All right. So the cycle took about 28 days. So if I pull this up, see that 28 days from every peak. So here to here, and then we had the projector pattern, right? Projector pattern here to here, 28 days. Or I'm sorry, projector patterns right here. Projector pattern, 28 days, and then the mid phase right here, 28 days. And then you can't really tell what's going on here because this is where it all kind of started. So once GameStop and all these other meme stocks started to come up, that's when this cycle began. So you're not going to see it right in the beginning as much as you are over here. So yeah, it's the same fucking pattern. Like, things play out exactly the same, right? So that's why it's a little bit hard to tell what's going to happen here because it hasn't really developed yet. There's still some time to go. Once we get, you know, confirmation of what this pattern is going to look like, then we can kind of track Ethereum Classic a little bit better. But one thing is for sure, guys, I do believe that we're tracking it. I mean, clearly, you know, it went up before us, and then 3 days later we spiked the same ratio. It's like, it's clear. It's clear. This was one of the indicators that we were tracking. They went up 130%. We went up 130% 2 days later. So far, what it's looking like is that we're tracking about 3 to 4 days behind. But as you are moving in time, and I said this very clearly, you're going to start to slowly separate in time. So, you guys know that here it was 28 days. They were tracking apart. Then we got to 22 days. Then it was 16. Then it was 6. Then it was 0. Okay, and they started tracking identical, and now we're starting to see 4, right? So as you're moving in time, you're gonna see a larger separation. It might be 8 right here, and then it'll be 16, and then it'll be 28 or whatever, right? As you're separating in time. So that's what I'm looking for right now. It's that separation. It's gonna slowly happen, so it's gonna be a little bit harder to track, but I do believe it's going to happen. All right, what is Amy looking like? Intraday. Yeah, and I'm looking for a bounce here in the short term. If you guys do remember yesterday, we said a bounce area would be around this level right here. Okay, for a bottom, if anything, if we did come down here, right? So the only way this level back here would have been possible was if this momentum kept going into open, right? So if we were tracking up like this, and it would have made a lot more sense for that to happen and then come down. The fact that we're coming back down first, to me, indicates that there might be like a weird Ivy Crush setup here with the puts that are happening. I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like in the next couple hours, we might get a little reversal just looking at the setup, because there's been way too much downside. Now, if this gets prolonged here in the near future, right, and we stick around this level till end of day, then we might get a rally next week, Tuesday. Typically Mondays are the same thing. Mondays are kind of like and then Tuesday is when you get your rallies. So I would be looking at those two. But again, on the macro, dude, what we're looking at is that projector, and the projector does call for a little bit more downside, and that's fine. That's fucking fine. Look at that. At the end of the day, this is what we want. We want to be here, set up for this fucking rally, baby. All right. Well, that's the thing, man. You know, a lot of people did get very hyped about this setup here, and you know, like it was a major point of resistance, guys. It would have just played out two ways, really, if this setup played out to be, you know, like people are saying, the January run up. If that would have happened, the fractal that we were looking at called for upside right here. To me, that was one of the confirmations I was looking at, where it's like, okay, this is where it broke down. So it's very likely that we're not following that fractal, just because of a couple of things. Again, we're in different price levels, okay? We just hit a major resistance, okay? $28 to 30 was that. And that's why we're coming down, is because of that major resistance trend line. So I don't believe that, you know, we're in a very unique time here, okay? The overall pattern might look the same if you stretch the height and the length, but it's really going to be a larger setup, guys. I do believe that. It's going to be unique in its own way. It's a little bit difficult to treat the run-ups how they've happened in the past, specifically on the projector pattern. In my opinion, I think what works best to track specifically is not what happened in the prior to the run-up, but tracking what is happening in the cycle. Because when you track what's happening in the cycle, you can really understand, like, first of all, where things are taking place and how they're going to take place. If you guys saw back here, for example, like, if you just look at this pattern, right? Okay, we have a projector pattern coming up, right, to meet this major level of resistance back here, right? Which if you kind of took that over here and said maybe this pattern right here would be similar to this resistance level, which it can, right? But it can also be similar to this setup here, because what we know so far also is that this fractal down here, it's a fractal because you convert it, right? But if you take this fractal here and you convert it into a ×4 fractal, which means you multiply this ×4, and I'm gonna do it here so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna pull up this cycle chart here so you guys can see what I'm looking at here, just because there's a lot of you that have not been here in the channel when I've talked about this, but I think this is very important to treat it this way. But this is a way in which you can multiply these patterns and make them make sense. All right, and I'll show you one here. So if we take, all right, so this is 2 weeks time right here, 2 weeks. This is a month, and then this larger blue one is 2 months. So this is a 62-day cycle is the larger one. So if we take this fractal right here, and we just take 2 weeks of it, right? That's 2 weeks. Now let's multiply this ×4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Whoa, I got a little crazy there. All right, right there, 4. Now if we come here on the hour chart or 2 hour chart, just kind of pull back a little bit, where do you think this fits? Well, to me, it's right off the bat, it fits right here, right? Because that is a fractal right there that is converted, makes sense, right? Now what you're doing is you're in a different price range, right? You brought the price down from, you know, this $15 level all the way up to about 60, right? So if you do the math, you know, that's 60 goes into 15 how many times? 4, right? So you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. As you're reaching a different price level, the patterns are naturally going to look bigger. You have more room to work with now to take the price down to a lower range, vice versa, right? Like if you're going to be right here, it's very likely that if you're reaching new highs, you're going to have to establish a larger setup beforehand because the cycle is going to naturally look bigger. So this is why it's very important that we calculate these instead of just, you know, taking a pattern from January and just, you know, stretching it out, because at that point, you know, it's gonna look very, very different. So this is one of the setups I was looking at here, and you know, it goes hand in hand with this whole thing as well. Like if we were, you know, back here making this larger projector, you know, we could be looking at this range right here, or we could be looking at this range up here, right? I personally think that you know, anywhere in this area is what we're currently looking at for this projector to be built, right? But yeah, that's exactly why I was calling for the projector, because I don't think, especially at this level, I don't really think that price just goes up in a straight line. I think you have to build momentum. I think you have to build you know, steady measures on the way up, for sure. Matt, what's up, dude? Thanks, brother. But yeah, Assad, what's the lowest I think it'll go? I think the lowest I think it'll go is just anywhere on this line right here. Depending on how quickly it gets there is where we will know. So, you know, if today is our lowest moment, you know, and we just go down in a straight line, well, then that would be over here. I doubt that's going to happen. I think at some point we're going to get a bounce. But I think maybe here, that would be our low, which would be around Tuesday. I think we would get something like this. And then right on Tuesday, we would bounce to start making our way up. Right? So we might actually get like a little V reversal. It might be like a little inverse head and shoulders, and then get a little V reversal like that, and then slowly start to make our way up, right, to set up for that macro rippy rip. Now, something to note as well is that, you know, if the projector succeeds to stop this volume from coming in, you guys have to be prepared for the possibility of another cycle. And that, I'm just being real, okay? Again, I'm bullish on AMC, but I'm being realistic with you. If things do not play out to the upside and we break down here, you're definitely going to see another cycle. Now, I don't think we're going to come back and see 13 again, right, until after the squeeze or whatever. But I do believe that if we do not get that pass through on this regression trend, so let me pull it up. Okay. Where you at, dude? There we go. I do not believe that if we don't get a cross on this regression trend resistance, if we don't get a cross right after this projector, then we are going to be in another cycle. And then this is the thing, like, again, I'm not a bear, but I do believe that we're going to squeeze eventually. But if we do get another cycle, they're just going to stall the play and make more money until they can't anymore. And in my opinion, the most bearish like scenario in this case would be like, so if we bring the cycle here, the cycle curve, right, we would make another cycle, and now you can start to see things breaking out, right? Because every cycle here is called for downside. 4 cycles have called for downside. 1 was neutral, and then 1 is starting to go up. So if you start to see the pattern, there's been 4 that have been bearish, 1 that has been neutral, and then 1 that's bullish, right? So if we're bullish, neutral, bearish, then on the next cycle, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to have maybe like stagnant bullish, and then you set up right around here for possibly the mid-July to August time. That would be the most bearish scenario, in my opinion, if we do get in another stall play. That would mean that we do not pass this projector. But I do think, guys, that the momentum is hot right now. I think this is just them shaking off people. It's just the way the projector pattern works. It's the algorithm setting up for volatility in the near future. So that's what I'm calling for, dude. That's what I'm calling for. Are we concerned about the SPY? No, I'm not concerned about the SPY. The SPY is just taking a small breather. As you can see right here, the Fourier transform calls for downside. We've been following this thing to a T ever since this thing happened. We're starting to go back up. It's called for downside here, and then we have a little bit of upside, a little bit of downside, and then we're gonna rip again. So I would see us ripping maybe on, yeah, like Tuesday next week. We might have some downside here for a little bit, and then, yeah, rip next week on Tuesday. I still think the SPY has a lot more room to go. Remember, dude, war, propaganda, oil prices going up, bullshit. All of that is just trying to scare the economy, man. Smash that like button if you like this stream. The algo would appreciate it. Why are you scared? Why are you scared? Chris, what's up, dude? The bullish outlook. The bullish outlook would be that that projector that I was talking about here. So this one, you could really draw it in many different ways. Where's the TA setup? This is the one that I'm talking about here. This is the TA setup on AMC. Right here. And you can see these are the little projectors. I'm going to take these out, though. This one's really, it's relevant, but this is one of the ones that failed. So you could see the downward pressure here. And then this is what I'm looking at. It's the new pattern. I split them up into separate sections so that you guys can see what's happening. Right back here, we had multiple breaks in support and resistance lines. So you could have said that, you know, even though these weren't like flags or anything, but they're considered tiny, you know, little pennants or wedges or whatever you want to call them. A little wedge that broke down, and then, you know, you made a larger, right here, it would have been like a larger cup going up, you know. There's a lot of things you could do. This would have been a flag right there, and then we made a larger flag. We actually did make a flag on this setup, and then we broke down, right? It's really about, like, what can you do? What can you do within a support and resistance trend line? Okay, so if you go back on the macro setup here and you ask yourself, how much time, and this is an institutional perspective, how much time do I have to play with the price action on these support and resistance trend lines? How much time do I have to fuck around with retail, to fuck around with shorts, to fuck around with longs? How much time do I have? And not only are you drawing these, so this is a regression trend here that we've been following, but what you want to look at really is these major lines here, right? If you believe that, you know, we're not going to cross 13 anymore, I personally don't believe we will. We just came all the way up here. We crossed how many levels? We crossed, well, obviously the first one here, 19, and 23, 29, and then we did hit fucking 34, so we crossed this one too. That's 4 different levels of resistance. I don't think this would just be a pump and then a massive dump. No. that would, I mean, guys, just think about that. What that would do to these institutions. Like, that would be clear manipulation. If you're gonna manipulate a stock, you have to be you have to finesse what you're gonna do, and that's what they've been doing this entire time. They've been finessing it because, well, there's patterns playing out, but you know, they'll they'll break them or they'll play them out whenever it makes sense in their agenda, right, in their best interest. So I don't think we're gonna break that again. So if you really draw these lines, you only have so much time to play around with technicals. So if you look at this, see why I picked that end of April time is because, well, if we don't break down, right, if we don't break down on this line, then this is all you have to work with. That's it. You don't have jack shit. You can only work with this. And then what happens? You break this major trend line and you go. It's, guys, 10 months of resistance right here. That's nasty. Okay, you break this and you're done. You're fried. It's game over. We'll get some candle licks here in the short term if AMC starts to rally it up. 2261 is the low of the day. Obviously, I mean, you know. And guys, like, you know, people that say, like, you know, because the problem here is the majority of people don't believe. The majority of people do not believe in cycles. They believe that things are driven by catalysts, by, you know, by fundamentals, like data, just data that you're looking at with AMC and GameStop, and all of that is in my opinion is planned specifically due to cycles, right? Like, it's not that they don't know that this is happening. They know that this shit's happening. It's just they know that the majority of people don't know that this is happening. So, dude, I believe that Ryan and fucking Adam both know this shit. They know that fucking markets work off of cycles, and they're releasing this information specifically on these dates, so that they align with the flow of the market, which is a cycle. Again, majority of people are not gonna think that this is real because they would just be like, oh, that's fucking manipulation. There's no way like that this is happening. But it's, I mean, if things are playing out not only on AMC but other stocks, like for example the Fourier transform is something that finds cycles. It's playing out on the SPY too, specifically with AMC's agenda and the way that it's going up and down. That just makes the whole thing stronger, makes everything more valid, making sense. Majority of people don't know, though. That's the thing. It's like not like it's a very, I mean, just this movement just now is starting to sort of pick up on it, but your average, you know, retail trader that is not, you know, on AMC or any meme stock, I mean, they probably do not look at stuff like that. All right, let's look at Amy then. Let's go intraday and see what's up. See what's up. So we are getting a bit of a bounce, which is good. Yeah. And you also have to look at the so what was the previous Just so you guys know this too, the previous line of resistance was this one, and that one was broken. As soon as it broke it, look at the knife, look at the falling knife right here. Okay, you have to consider that too, guys. When things break like this, remember, they're using technicals against us, so when they do happen, they will play out. They'll be like, oh, well, it broke the trend line, so, you know, it's like, that's inevitable, because when you break a support level, it's likely that, you know, you do get a pretty hefty falling knife, especially if the price went up 130% the days prior. So this is, you know, people can scream manipulation, right? But they're going to use that against us because it's a technical setup here that is playing out according. That's why we look at technicals, because they do play out eventually, but they also play out against us. We look at both sides of the spectrum. Make sure that, you know, will play out to the upside or the downside, depending on what they're gonna fucking do. But yeah, that's what we got going on. So now we're looking at this one to make that projector pattern, and we are looking at this level of, yeah, around 2050 to have a full bounce. But before we get there, we are going to have probably a little bit of a stagnant pressure here. Maybe Monday or Tuesday we'll get it, and we'll get that major bounce. And you guys see how, like, you get fucking stock split news on AMC, like dividend news, which is one of the most bullish things that you can ask for. Okay, and the price still goes down the day after. We're down 7%. Okay, GameStop is up 4%, which makes sense. But we're a we're a sympathy play. So I mean, even the fact that GameStop is fucking down on news like that, like this much, from going up to almost 200, 204, and then it goes all the way down to 168. That's, guys, come on. It's bullshit. It's bullshit is what it is. But I'm telling you, this is why I do not pay attention to like, I pay attention to it, but I don't see it affecting the price action like that right away, immediately. It takes time. It takes months for you to really see that do some damage, right? Earnings, anything, dude. I just sort of tuck it away, man, and then come back to it, because, or else you're you know, I'll tell you one thing though. When they do release that one catalyst, when we do go up, it'll happen right on that projector pattern, on that tip of it. There's gonna be some sort of catalyst, whatever it is, even if it's like a squeeze catalyst, I don't care. They're gonna release it right on that, so that you don't, you know, come at them later being like, oh, well, it didn't just go up for no reason. There was a catalyst for it. There will be a catalyst for it, dude. Just watch, and that'll be the one that does play out to the upside. That'll be that one. All right, let me go back here and read some questions. A Tuesday bounce, yeah, I would say maybe a Tuesday bounce. I would be looking at that date as a bounce. Right now, it's breathing. You know, downside, quick downside like that does take a little bit. It's not a quick reversal, V reversal or anything like that. Typically, you do get a little bit of a downward pressure for a little bit of time. Yo. You feel like GME is going to rip first and AMC? Yeah, it could go both ways. One thing's for sure. Whichever goes up first, the other is going to follow. That is for sure. That's why we root for both, man. You know, a lot of people ask me like, oh, why don't you, you know, why don't you put GME on your title or anything like that? Was because I specifically specialize. I've been specializing specifically on AMC's price action. So if I focus too much on both, then you know, I'm instead of having a very specific study here, I'm being a little bit more broad with it. So I might make more mistakes if I look at multiple stocks and concentrate specifically on multiple stocks. That's why I just do AMC for now. So I think it'll be a little bit better if I understand just the price action of AMC. But at the end of the day, man, they're both gonna go up. I'm rooting for both to go up. I don't think there's such thing as separation or like, you know, like division between. No, bro, this thing is a one play, both of them. All right, brother and sister Jamie. Sam Dork, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming in here and chilling out. Where do I think we're gonna be in April? Yeah, so what I'm calling for here is somewhere around the end of April, and so far this seems to be playing out pretty. Let's see where the moving average is. Yeah, look at that. All right, so this is the updated version here on the TA setup based off of the first drop that we had, but I put this up here yesterday. So far we are playing out this entire setup like very similar to it. So yeah, we're doing this. So we're probably going to see some very sideways pressure here, man, right until Tuesday or Wednesday, and then slowly get that bounce back to you know, and what I mean by going up on Wednesday or Tuesday next week, I mean like that'll be that low, and guys, this might be the low before the next all-time high. So what that means is that you get your previous high, right, and then you get your previous low, and then from that low, you know, that's where you calculate fib levels and stuff. Because that's typically how you do it here, man, when it comes to bottoms and highs. You got to look at that mid-phase level before the previous high, which would be right here. And right on the macro, it's going to be different. You would consider this one that, but here on the short term, it would be a high and then a low. And then this would probably be the lowest price level that you would see before the run-up, which would be around that, yeah, probably around that $21 level. And then yeah, coming into it, I would say, you know, the last week of April, we would go up maybe the 22nd, 25th, Monday. And that's if the projector pattern fails to stop the volume, right? If it succeeds, then you already know that we're going to get another cycle. I just want to prepare you guys for both scenarios because they both are very possible. We don't know what the algorithm is setting up to do. AMC stock split seems more likely now. I mean, honestly, it just takes one, dude. It takes one to have that catalyst that'll cause the that domino effect on the other. I mean, it's cool that GameStop, you know, GameStop recently has been having a lot of good news. You know, like, and I'm gonna say this straight up, but fundamentally speaking, I think, like, fundamentally speaking, I would say GameStop has a better chance. If we were not looking at a squeeze play, I would say that at surviving, GameStop has a way better chance of doing so. Because GameStop, you know, has already taken care of, like, you know, its entire debt. It's already taken. I mean, it's got a lot of different setups for the future that AMC is still trying to do, and that's good, dude. I hope that AMC, in the end, no matter what, like after the squeeze, I hope that it fucking survives and shit keeps going. I hope that society doesn't choose to just fucking sit at home and watch movies on VRs, bro, because that would just be so fucking sad. And that's the whole thing. I hope that doesn't happen, okay? But yeah, GameStop, obviously, like, I mean, it's doing its shit, bro. It's doing its shit. But no matter what, I mean, this is a squeeze play in the end. We're here for a squeeze play, all right? And I'm pretty sure no matter what, dude, like, after this is all done, people are going to be extremely loyal to AMC either way. They're going to look at it, like I was saying yesterday, more of a commodity than anything, right? Like, you look at Doge, you look at Bitcoin, right? Those are commodities. I think these meme stocks are going to be looked at as commodities, and, you know, people might just be investing money in them to grow over time. And then that way AMC never dies and GameStop never dies, right? That would be ideal. Yeah, splitting wouldn't make sense. I think what people are referring to is a dividend, just to be able to do a share recall, because obviously that's what people want. People want another share recall. It's one of those things that does expose, you know, the actual shares that we have in the market. And I agree with a share recall, man. They definitely should do one. I don't know why they haven't just yet, but they should. Uh, 777 projector in November failed because volume was very low. Yes, it was very, very low. This one has very good volume. Very true. And that is the whole thing here, right? So back here, okay, we failed the test, and you saw in the cycle playing out completely inverse. The cycle's right down here, so we get the inverse effect take place, right? And it so happens, right, that we are currently on this cycle playing out the upside. And this is why I'm bullish, is because as you near the cycle, in the beginning on the previous cycle, we merged cycles and it became a bigger cycle. So this is why I'm bullish, guys, because if we make the projector here, this is right, this could be the downfall effect on these hedge funds, right? The ripple effect that just takes us up, say bye-bye to the cycle 2. Or it could be another cycle, which would just be a lot larger. It would look probably like that or something, compared to the, you know, the current cycle, which is tiny, like that. But yeah, so far everything is playing out as we've been tracking here. It to a T. It's crazy how similar. If you guys have been here since day one, you know we've been tracking all of the indicators that we have here. The 62-day cycle. We have this regression trend cycle as well. We had the 120-day setup that played out again to a T on that $30 mark. And Ethereum Classic now that just joined the game, right? Tracking that as well. There's a lot of things that we're tracking that are playing out according to our agenda. Okay, not theirs, but our agenda. So we're gonna continue to do that, man, and figure out what the fuck is up. What the fuck is up? What the fuck is next? Stick along for the ride, my friend. All right, this is Amy right now. Am I able to go to January 26, 2021 on the 1 minute? Yeah, I could do that. If you guys want to be able to do that, I recommend you get TD Ameritrade. TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, they let you do that shit. You can go to any time frame and look at it on the 1 minute. That's how I've been able to find out the implied volatility shit that happened with AMC that indicated that run up, right? That all happened back in November, in March, on these very specific dates. And that was something that that I was able to look at, man, before that shit happened. And you can only do that with this feature because it goes, you go back in time, bro, and just see the price action intraday. It's the coolest shit ever. It looks like the same January 26th pre-market as 1 day for the year. Nana, thank you. Look at you. Over 1,000 shares. Congrats. Look at that. That's awesome. Congrats, congrats. Hey Chris, as long as you're here for the ride, man. I'm glad that you guys are on this fucking journey with me, man. The coolest thing is that you guys are all on the same page, and we're doing this together, dude. Really, I would not be able to do this if it wasn't for this fucking amazing chat that we have here. I'm telling you, you guys all have the best vibes. Like, it shocks me because there's a lot of chats out there, man, where they're just like. Just talk so much shit and so much crap, and it's just like you get nothing done. But you guys are just a bunch of sweethearts. You know that? You're a fucking sweetheart. All right, let's look at Jan. I'll do it for you, man. I'm here, January 26th. So I see what you're saying, man. The only issue with this is that we're following a downtrend right now, and on that January 26th setup, a lot of charts are going to look very similar intraday. You know, with depending on what they're trying to do. The difference here is that, yeah, it does look similar, but you have an uptrend happening. So when you have an uptrend happening and the chart looks the same, it's more likely that you do follow a similar setup. But if it's coming down and you're following a similar trend, it's because, well, a lot of charts are going to look similar intraday if you're trying to achieve a certain thing. But there's going to be millions and millions and millions of charts that look very similar to each other. You need to look more on in my opinion, on the macro level and see what's going on prior to it, right? So if you're on the 26th, what is happening right here is actually happening up here, and you're on this uptrend, right? We came down and we passed multiple resistance. So it would be a little bit crazy if the institutions that were controlling the price action were trying to make the price go up like this, just because, again, if you're trying to stay away from all eyes from the SEC, the government, right? Which, again, it's just, this all has to do with the media, in my opinion. Like, you don't want to scare people. So it doesn't matter what the SEC knows or the government knows, okay? They probably already know everything that is happening. It's just they're trying to keep that information away from you, okay? to not scare the public, because they're like, oh, we can't tell them that the system's manipulated and that we're taking your money and that, you know, and this is all a game and it's a puppet show. But if you do something like this, then people are going to freak out and they're going to be like, why the fuck is this even real? You know, why the fuck is that happening? But if you do it like this, on a technical level, and there's less room to scream at people because you're slowly going up, you're building that momentum as you slowly come up, and you won't really, it's going to be a little bit hard to be pointing fingers if the setup, you know, does that. That's why, guys, on all the run-ups that we've had, they've all really had a decent technical setup. If you go back and you look at here, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, this is why I don't believe that we just go straight up in a line, because if you come back to GameStop and you go back to when it actually squeezed, right? Look at how long it took for them to set up this play, right? And if we're gonna go here on the hour chart so you guys can see it more clearly. Okay, you come here on the hour chart, and you know AMC is on a different technical setup, but AMC is doing this right now. Okay, and it's right, basically, wait, right, it's like this, and then you come back up, and you come back here, right, and then we're coming back down. So AMC is doing this, right? GameStop, before it came up, it was very volatile on the way out, but it was constantly coming up. And what was it doing? It was establishing support along the way. Okay, that's bullish. This is bullish as fuck. When you build that much pressure, okay, it's gonna be a lot easier to just bring the price up, right? And say, well, shit, man, we were stuck in this, right? The shorts were stuck in this, and it took them a good bit. It took them from, you know, September all the way to January, right? So a good bit, a good 4 months to bring the price up, okay? And then at this point, it was like, well, there's no point of return. We're gonna go up, right? I would say that, you know, we're around this range right here, you know? We're building this setup right here. And that is the projector pattern that I'm talking about here. It's the one that we're using, okay? I would say that this would be ideal on the current setup because we had downside, right? And we're right here. We're right here, in my opinion. They're just different setups, dude. They're different setups, but again, things don't just go up in a straight line. You have to do it slowly. You have to do it slowly. You know, on that price. Okay, and this would kind of go with it. Here is, you know, a triple bottom setup. It's still bullish, okay? You came down here. You already reached this level right here, okay? But it's looking bullish right now, but it's slowly starting to climb. And I think, you know, with this pressure that we've had here on the downside, I think it's likely that at some point, you know, they do release everything all at once, but when it's ready, when the projector is ready. Well, Adam Aaron tweeted something. He tweeted something yesterday, though. Not today. Or not yesterday. He tweeted something, unless he replied to something that I'm not aware of. I don't see anything. Are you, what? You're joking. Sky, you fucking with me, aren't you? Oh yeah, and if you guys were here yesterday too, we talked about the SPY, right? Coming down to this level right here of support, which would have been, I know I like to update you guys here on the SPY because it has to do with also like finding out the cycle of the market. Really, just the overall market is very important when it comes to AMC. This is a very important level right here of support, okay, that we're currently just riding right now. I would say about the $48 level, and we're just kind of hovering over it right now. So in the near term, typically what the SPY likes to do is that it likes to chill here for a little bit, maybe going into Monday or Tuesday, or maybe even like end of day today or on Monday, have a gap up and then a gap down that will initially ride us up to the next wave. And what is this play right here? It's an inverse head and shoulders. So if you flip it, right, now obviously you got your left shoulder being a little bit bigger, right? But still, you get your overall setup here. And that is bullish. It's bullish to keep going, baby. Bullish to keep going. And then what do you get after this? Well, if you take this trend line, we got a straight line, baby. This thing is just gonna keep going at this point. You get one bullish rally, okay? And then it continues to do its little turn, right? Because I don't believe we're gonna have a crash yet. I think we still got some room to go, okay? First, what you gotta do is you gotta cross a psychological level, which is 500. You cross that shit, and then you keep going, all right? It's like Tesla. Okay, Tesla, you guys remember, we had all-time highs recently. So what happened, right? The majority of people were like, dude, what the fuck? This thing reached 1,000. Like, we gotta sell. We gotta sell because it reached 1,000 psychological level. No, psychological levels will take you, bro. Will take you up before taking you back down. You gotta give it a good like 20% after you reach that psychological level. Look at this, 1,000 all the way to 1,250. All right, that's 25% from 1,000. So think about it that way. You cross the psychological level, and there is still room to go. I think about 20%. So I would say until the next correction, like I'm talking correction, not a crash, probably like 600 and something on the SPY. And then it'll be a rug pull at that point. Out of nowhere. You know, when they're screaming bullish, that's when you know, okay, I gotta be careful now. I gotta be careful. Because there's no volatility right now. They're not gonna halt it if there's no volatility. It's a steady move down. You have to see major candles happening, like over, 5 million per candle. Maybe not 5 million, but like in the millions, 2 million. It's very volatile. That's when they halt it. Yeah, the SPY is taking a dump right now. A big old, yeah, dude, 449.19 going down. Let's see. Let's pull it up. Let's see what's up with that. Oh, wait, that's futures. Why does it look like that? The fuck? Oh, it's not. Oh, is it just after hours? What? The fuck does it look like that? I feel like that's not correct. Why does it look like that, bro? It's never looked like that. Okay, weird. Interesting. What? The fuck, dude? Okay, whatever. We're just gonna use this one. Oh, I think I know why. It's because, okay, yeah, never mind. I'm an idiot. Yeah, they're tracking very similarly to each other today. No negative beta. I think there's just the market is taking it down. Yeah. You bring AMC and you're like, all right, let's track the SPY market cycle real quick. Let's just do it because like they're going down. So see how it's all an agenda, guys. I mean, they do it according to the agenda. We had a bullish fucking rally just on the market in the past couple weeks, and now they take a little breather before coming back up. And it just so happens that we came up a couple of days before. So that's why I'm calling for maybe like a bullish setup on Tuesday, because if the SPY goes up on Tuesday, then, you know, that's naturally going to bring us up again. And then, you know, getting that momentum back. Futures? Yeah, I look at futures at night. It's cool because, like, yeah, again, TD Ameritrade has a nice setup for it. You can really see what's going on, you know. So does Thinkorswim or TradingView, but so the thing is, man, again, crypto's expected to go up soon. You're gonna see a lot of like just crypto related stocks, crypto related things go up, and this is again why we're tracking Ethereum Classic, is because we'll know that in advance. You're gonna get I'm telling you, man, you're gonna get a surge in that crypto field for sure. The lowest I think it'll go. No, you're right on the ball, man. I would say around that range of 20 to 21, 22. Yeah, you're right on the ball. Yeah, that is what I'm looking at here on that support level that we were just tracking. So right here, okay, would be right around this range. So yeah, 21. Around 21, unless we get a little bit earlier, but it seems like we are going to get some sideways pressure here, up and down like that, and then get that fill here around Tuesday, Wednesday, and then go up. All right? Start to go up slowly. You need momentum, guys. When you are coming down to reach these new levels of support, it dies off a little bit and then it comes back because you've established, you know, on a technical setup, you establish support. And when you do that, that's bullish, right? You bounce off very quickly and it's like, oh shit, we just bounced off of support. Like, this is going to keep going. Now we have a projector. Oh my God, it's going to keep going. And then that is when you get the momentum back. The algorithm knows that. It's set up for that. You got new option contracts that are in the game, and then they go long, and then they open up even more. You know, it is what it is. April is likely to be just early April is likely to be sideways. Yes. Yes, it is. Oh my God, this music, bro. What is this? Trying to make me fall asleep right now? Let's get some, like, pumpy up music in here or some shit. Minecraft vibe music. That's funny. The low today, I think we're close. Honestly, I think we're there. I'm gonna take the spy away. Get the fuck out. Okay. So, the low that I'm looking for, the actual bounce, would be down here. If they want to make this play sort of stagnant, then they're gonna have to bring it up. They're gonna have to bring it up soon. So whenever we get that reversal, whether it's today, I think it'll be today, honestly. I think, you know, they've added enough downward pressure to be able to get in some contracts in the money. Obviously, you guys know that this play is purely driven off the option chain, so that's why I throw in a lot of option stuff here. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, obviously not the prettiest day, but hey, guys, in the, soon we're gonna get this shit, man. Soon we're gonna get it. Christine, there's a bounce because I mean, just based off of technicals, if you get the if you get the technicals right, there a bounce would be calling around this range for sure. Just because you have support on the trend line, you also have this right here on a fib level. So if you cross those two, you do get around that Tuesday, Wednesday time to bounce. You can make again, if you know how to trade. Options specifically. Options, guys, you can buy and you can sell. Okay, that has nothing to do with buying and holding shares. That is a completely different game. You can make money trading options with AMC, and it's it's a really good way to reinvest if you want to collect more shares, leverage your position too. So there's really good ways to do that, and yeah, I think that you would get a bounce looking at right over here around this $21 level for sure. That's why I'm personally looking at that as a range. What up, Keith? How you doing, man? Yeah, for sure I can. I can show you what is up for next week. Okay, so based off of the TA setup right here, let's go on the 30-minute. I was surprised it's playing out like it's following this shit to a T. I posted this here on the 30th, and look at that, guys. Look at that. It's literally following it to a T, man. Yeah, so this is where we're at right now. I would expect a little bit more downside here until next week around Wednesday is what it's looking like here, and then we slowly start to make our way up here. Yeah, the next couple of weeks might be a little bit sideways, and that is okay, because if we don't do this, guys, then and this is why I'm trying to be extremely patient here with this price, the price action of AMC, because I mean the cycle is calling for this, dude. The cycle is, I'm tracking the cycle specifically, and that's the reason why we're getting these plays the way they are. Okay. The same thing here, guys. When we talked about this $28 level here, that was purely based off of the cycle and how they distribute these shares and then ramp up the price. So that's how I'm getting this too, man. The downfall here, the projector pattern downfall, is specifically made with the cycle as well, and the TA setup, everything. So yeah, I'm just looking for sideways pressure. And that next run up would be around April, end of April. I would say the 22nd, 25th, that would be probably a level that I'm looking at personally. And that is if the projector pattern fails to, stop the volume coming in. But it goes both ways, guys. I always say here, and I know I'm repeating myself over and over for those of you that are just coming in, but I say that if the projector fails right here and we go down, then we are going to get another cycle, and that one is going to last. I'm saying this straight up, but if we get another cycle here, okay, then we're going to expect another run-up probably until late July, early August time for this if the projector pattern fails. So that's just something to consider. But personally, I think the momentum is there. I think this is where we get that run up. We just need to be on this right here. Be on this trend line. Stare our way up slowly and go. Saying we have a chance. Yes, sir. We're saying we have a chance. We do have a chance. We have a really good chance. AMC having a little bit of a move. Hell yeah. We do have a push up on the SPY as well. The SPY doing its thing. It's almost won, so it doesn't surprise me. Alrighty, Amy. You coming back or what? What do you guys want to do? You want to rally? Do you guys... Oh, shit. Do you guys want to rally? Is that what you want? You want elephants in the chat? You want to fly in space? You want to go through wormholes? Yeah? Let's do it then. Damn it. Let's rally it up. Amy, go up. Go up to extreme levels. Prove us wrong. Do it. Let's go. We have elephants in the chat. We are making a we're making a little trunk pattern right here. We got Mr. Elephant right here, getting ready to trunk it up. Look at that shit. Amy, go up. It's about time. I think this is a nice bottom. Let's see what the RSI is looking like. Yeah, oversold. Oversold on the 30-minute. Almost oversold on the hour. Obviously, it's not oversold on anything past that. But I would say, yeah, it's looking pretty good, man. On the hour, it's looking like here we might get a little bit of a bounce. And that is expected. Why? Because if you keep going down, then that's not the most bullish thing. I think, you know, like they said. But hey, why not, right? Why not rally right now? Why not? Why the fuck not? Let's go. Amy. Show us some moves. Kind of miss it, you know what I mean? I miss it. 2 days ago, 3 days ago when we were rallying, I missed that shit. And I wasn't sick, so I could scream it out. She's looking good. She just passed major resistance on the intraday, not on the macro. Here. Okay, go up. We got a lot of stuff, guys, just going up right now. A lot of stuff, a lot of stocks. Yeah, including Amy. Including Amy. Hey, let's go. Amy going at it today. On the comeback, right? We need that comeback, baby. It would be awesome, man. Like, and once we figure out the tracking here with Ethereum Classic, you know, that if in the short term, you know, we do get that push up here, I mean, that would be really nice. Yeah, I mean, like, and this is the thing, dude. Like, if you know, and I was talking about this earlier yesterday, but again, you have your let's say you have your savings account, right, as like your share position on AMC, right? You have your shares, and then a way in which you're able to trade that to is derivatives, which are options, because they're specifically made for, I mean, if you know how to trade them, if you sell them right after you're done, wherever it is that, you know, you're comfortable with selling, like you sell your options up here or whatever, you're able to bring that onto AMC shares, which is a good thing. It's a good strategy to use if you know how to do options. Okay, that's why yeah, I'm pretty big on options when it comes to AME. Now I did not get in on options, okay, back here, because again, on that resistance, very dangerous thing to do. Premiums are extremely high. But here on a lower level next week, okay, what I'm looking at is, you know, on that Tuesday, on this bounce, bro, if you got like very close options here on, you know, not financial advice at all, but personally for more of a safer bet, what I am probably looking to do is wait for this range and then go in on some myself, right? Not financial advice. Again, I'm gonna keep saying that because a lot of people just like to take that as financial advice for whatever reason, but it's not. So, just personally, that's what I'm doing. Do I think that's a signal for something in the near future? Yeah. Yeah, it's a macro projector pattern in the making. Alright, Amy's doing something stupid. Alright, hold up. Here, give me a sec. Just gonna... Yeah, okay, hold up. Let me look at the SPY. Because the SPY is probably doing something similar, I'm assuming. Yeah, no. What the fuck? It's just GameStop and AMC. They're both dumping, just both of them. That's it. And the SPY is not dumping. That's bullshit. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Bull fucking shit. You get a major catalyst, guys, and now you look at that. They're both dumping like insane right now. GameStop and AMC are both just dumping right now. It's bullshit. It's the biggest bullshit ever. Alright, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Okay, let's see. Interesting. Okay, this would be another. This is more of a parallel channel, by the way. On these two, actually, let's do that because this is a pretty good indicator here. Interesting. Yeah. All right, we got a parallel channel right here. And this seems to be a level of support on both, obviously. So with these guys, remember, you don't just, you know, come in, touch them very quickly. You kind of do, like, go in the channel for a bit before coming back up. So I don't know, man. We might, there might be a possibility that we do end the day, you know, on the lower side of things. Depending on how quickly AMC wants to bounce. But this is a parallel channel on both of these trend lines. So they're the same, right? They're the same angle, which is important. It's important to look at. You break one, you go down to the other. But there's multiple, remember, because this was the previous one that we just broke. So that one's out of the picture. Can't look at that anymore. You're not going to go back into that channel. But this one would be the next one, and then you have this one right here. The one that we're looking at currently. So. Oh, big fucking green candle right there. Maybe that was the bounce that we were looking for. I don't know. The SPY is taking a hit again. It like went up and then it's taking a hit. Media Dre, again, I'm not looking for next week. I'm looking for end of April. I think we're in completely different setups than what we tracked in the past. Okay, it has to do with, you know, the current setup that you're in. I'll pull it up here for those of you that are just coming in, because I did talk about this a little bit earlier here. Where is it? Is it on this one? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, I'll pull that up too. You guys see this? These little rectangles that I'm pulling up, or little squares, whatever you want to call them. These are projector patterns, okay? And I see a lot of people comparing these. The problem is, sure, the shape of it, okay, is very reminiscent of the past, right? They all have this sort of arc pattern shape before going up, okay? Very, very similar in the way that they look. Now, the problem though is you're in a different setup, okay? You're dealing with different price action. Things don't go up in the same time frame. They're not going to go up like that. I mean, all of these, okay? This right here, okay? From the projector start, May 13th. It took about 2 weeks to make this thing. Right here, it's a different story. January 15th, right? And it went up a little bit beforehand. So maybe like a week and a couple days, right? November, very quick. It took about 4 days. All right. So let's do the math. If that's the case, you know, you're dealing with, you know, $1 back here to 5, $2 to 25, 12 to 77. Okay. It's a different game. These took 4 days. Let's just round 3 days, a week, 2 weeks. All right, let's say a month. If it is a month from the start, right, then we would be looking at like March 25th to April 25th, right? That would be about a month of us making this projector pattern. It would just make a lot more sense, and it does not only make sense on this cup, right? You get a cup and a handle. We've been calling for this for a while, because if you just repeat the same thing, it's just defying the rules of technicals. And you have to remember that the game here, the psychological game that these guys are playing, these institutions, is specifically to fuck with you, to fuck with me, but they don't want to make it too obvious. So if you're gonna just go up in a straight line like that, you're gonna make it way too obvious that things are being manipulated. So you kind of have to set up for it beforehand. And I believe that, you know, this play specifically would take about, this projector would take about a month and to complete before it goes up. And that's what I'm tracking right now. But do remember that, you know, there is still that possibility that we come down and we stagnate, you know, we still prolong this for a little bit longer if it does fail. Or if it does succeed to stop the volume, right? And then we come down. But I don't think we're ever going to see that $13 level again until we squeeze. I think that, if anything, worst case, we would stick around this range and wait for the next cycle towards early August, July time. That would be the next point of interest that I'm looking at, specifically based on the cycle. That would be the next point of interest after March. Oh, my neck is killing me. Thanks, Marvin. Appreciate you for being here. 777. You said it just perfectly there, man. Yeah, I believe the projector pattern will be larger because the move will be larger. Yes. So if you're calling for a larger price action, it's harder to bring stocks that are in stocks that are higher in price are going to be larger to bring up. And I'm talking specifically like with market caps too, guys. I know that you have to look at the market cap as well, because there's a lot of little penny stocks, right? And people are like, oh, it's a penny, like we can pump this to $1 million or whatever, but they're not looking at the market cap, and that's very, very important. Just large stocks and market cap in general are going to be harder to bring up. The AMC, started back here and has added shares. It also has gotten up to 77 and then came back down. So it's still trying to come back from this, pressure, just down pressure. It's really hard to just look at, patterns and stuff and just specifically track, patterns that have happened in the past, on the run-ups. That's why in the cycle here, I tend to focus more on what's happening in between from its previous high and its previous low, and just look at those things. And if I am looking at a pattern, it will typically be calculated to fit according to what's happening, right? So if I take, what's happening back here, I'm going to make sure that I don't just stretch it upward and say that this is what we're tracking, right? But I do combine it with that, that same time frame. So something like that. And then at that point, it starts to make a little bit more sense, right? But I do believe that this is a unique projector pattern that is going to be made in its own way. So it's going to look a little bit different from the previous ones. I'll stick on this because I'll probably come back to it, and there we go. It's that regression trend. How do I think it would affect the stock if he got the approval from retail? I mean, I don't think we need to share another share offering. We've had so many. There's too many, man. Too many shares. I personally don't think retail would give Adam Aaron the approval there. And I also think that there's been enough downward pressure here. I think that would be a momentum kill for the community. I mean, nobody wants to hear. This is why I say this over and over again. I don't push out bearish sentiment in the short term. I don't push it out. I talk about it in the streams, but I don't go out of my way to make a thumbnail that's bearish and a title that's bearish, because it just creates FUD and unnecessary drama. So I'm very dude, if I'm going to talk about it, it's going to be in the stream and you're going to hear it here, right? I'll tell you what's going on, what I think is happening, but I think it's the same thing with Adam Aaron. You can't push out a bearish, we know that a share offering is a bearish thing. It's going to dilute the stock. So it's bearish. I mean, if you push that out, people are going to freak out, and you're going to start this trend, right? And we all do play a little bit in it. Just the way that this community works is, specifically with a little bit, of a little bit of bias, cognitive bias, a little bit of it, just because if we all believe that the price action is going to go to $1 million, right? And I've said this before, it's a good fantasy to believe, but I do believe that it drives the movement. So I play in it myself. The fact that people are pushing this price action is a bullish thing, because it's such a nice fantasy to believe that we would go to $1 million. I think that fuels the the optimism in the community, but I also think that anything that's bad for the stock will do the same thing, just on the opposite side. That's why I don't think it's smart to be throwing in a lot of bearish things on AMC, especially because, dude, look at the price action. This has been down for so long. There's no reason to do that right now. There's no reason to do that right now. Yeah, and what I meant to say was confirmation bias. I don't know why I say confirmation bias is real, and we, like I said, I play a part in it. We all play a part in it, because it's a good thing in my opinion, as far as what is giving this play the ability to do its thing. Without confirmation bias, guys, I don't think AMC would be a thing. I don't think the meme movement would be a thing without confirmation bias. I don't think. You need it. You need it in order for this to work. Because if we were all just realistic as fuck, then this, again, you have to throw in some fantasy into it, or else it just doesn't work. That's why it's like such a fucking awesome thing, because like I'm over here like this whole movement, dude. Like, it's just the craziest thing. I don't know. It's fucking awesome. I appreciate it. I fucking appreciate it. That too, right there. That's another one that you could look at, but we look at the regression trend on the downside, but this is another one that you could look at here for that peak. Yeah, live a fantasy life, bro. Why not? It's working out. It's working out right now, you know? Why the fuck not? Yeah, a bunch of this is the best thing that's ever happened, guys. To think about how much things we've like found out in the past couple of, you know, the past couple of months here. It's figuring out this shit. It's the craziest. We found out so much in the short term. Yeah, the SPY is having a major breakdown, major reversal here. That's funny, dude. That 449 level, and now it's bouncing. Look at that. Again, that is not a mistake. That is the fucking Fourier transform for you. If we look at the Fourier transform, here it is. Look at that right here, and then it's downside and then upside. Calls for upside and then downside again. So I would say that probably on Monday we might get just another dip. It's what it's looking like here on the SPY. Another dip and then a rip and then a continuation and rip, because so far it's playing out according. Now you can tell right here with the Fourier transform, you also have to consider that it's giving you the overall direction, but the patterns don't have to play out like right here, the upside. See how it's more curved, and this one is more of like a free fall, right? Because we're looking at February of 2020, which is when COVID happened, and going into March. So here, right, on the upside, you know, don't expect something like that. You know, it could be a lot faster, or it could also be a little bit more curved like that, right? It could take a couple of more weeks or days, but just the overall direction is what you're looking at. And so far, I mean, dude, so far it's fucking playing out. And if you're wondering where I got this, it's back here. How did I get it? Fourier transform. And yeah, and I'm not telling you guys to, like, you could do whatever you want with your money, dude. I never call for anything. I'm just telling you what I do. But for me, it's one of those things where I don't like to For me, I like to wait until the setup is ready to go in on like calls. I personally don't play puts just because it's more of a mental thing for me, but some people do, man. Some people do, and this is one of those things. That's on you. That's, again, with guys with derivatives, you're not going to affect anything with AMC. There's a agenda for it, and that's it. It's more of a share thing. Once you start going in on shares, or if you buy in the money options and you exercise them, you're turning them into shares. So it's different. That's another way to obviously cause a gamma squeeze in the end, but that does happen when things start to go in the money very quickly, once those are being exercised and stuff. But some people do, man. Some people play both sides of the game. I'm over here just chilling, waiting for that level so that I can go up, because on the upside, guys, you never fucking know. It's fucking dangerous. Also, I always find it that if you do go in on puts, it's typically not the same like when I look at puts, guys, think about it this way. People buy puts up here, but they don't realize that the premiums have just been racked up to the max. So when you buy them and you come back down here and they Ivy crush the whole thing, as you're coming back down and the premiums are dying, you're actually losing money on both theta and delta. So like you're basically crushing the IV. You might get some money on it, but it's not going to be the same way as if you buy calls. It's not. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy how they do it, man. But they even make it hard for people to make money on the way down just because they've already racked up the premiums. Remember, with when you spike volatility, it goes up. The premiums go up for puts and calls, not just calls. It's a both. They go both. Sometimes people like, and this is crazy, but sometimes people will buy puts beforehand and they will go up like as the price is going up. Weirdest fucking thing. Obviously, I think they're in the money are the ones that go up, I think, a little bit more, and then some that are close to in the money. The other ones, it's a different game. It just depends on where you are on the stock, but it's the craziest shit. Sometimes people will literally buy puts, and then as it's increasing in price, if volatility starts to go up, they will also increase, and then they obviously go down when you buy them. It's a crazy thing. That's why it's very important to learn options before you get into it, because it's a deadly game, dude. If you buy it at the wrong time, it's a deadly game. It's just so sad, man, to see like all of these 40s and stuff go out of the money like today. You know what I mean? Like back here, it's fucked. Or not out of the money, but like even like the 30s or all this stuff. Like, it's not a pretty look. It's not a pretty look. Quiet Quest, what is up? Thank you, man. Could the GameStop split cause? Yeah, it could, but I think the news will always be delayed a bit. So anything that, like yesterday, how you saw it, the catalyst go up, that's a very bullish one, in my opinion. A dividend stock split is extremely bullish for GameStop, but we're still seeing the price action go down. So you're not going to see the effect for probably a couple weeks. American Dream, thank you, man. Thank you. And this is something else, like for you guys, just what song is playing. This is a lo-fi beat playlist for you, so that YouTube doesn't yell at me. Even though I don't monetize my videos, but it still yells at me. There's like a little trumpet. It sounds like RuneScape music. Lo-fi RuneScape music. What is support? Support is just your previous broken resistance. Unless you're at a bottom, then you really don't have. I mean, that would be considered the first level of support, right? This is the here on the 1 hour chart. If we look at it from this perspective, this is a support trend line, because you're looking at like, get my brush. Here's a the price action here, and then it starts to respect the support. It's just riding that support level on the trend line, right? There's different ways you can look at support. There's a trend line support, and then you can look at actual levels, and you have to use horizontal lines for this, and then you establish support levels like that. But it's very, like, it's a little bit more complex than it looks. But I think resistance and support trend lines are one of the best things that anybody should learn if you don't know what they are. Basically, the way that patterns are made on a specific time frame within how support and resistance levels meet. So within this circle is where you can do all that jazz and do whatever the fuck you want. That's why they're very important. They allow a stock to, or they limit a stock from creating certain patterns unless they're broken. Once they're broken, then you make new patterns at that point. The TA setup that I have back here is specifically, I mean, there's support and resistance levels all over the place, because typically once they're broken, you turn and you do a new pattern. So here we had a bunch of flags, pennants, we had a wedge. You break that level of resistance on the top, and then now you're making a cup, right? With cup, triple bottom, cup and handles, you're looking at more horizontal levels of support and resistance, just because there's some curve action happening. But with flags and pennants and wedges, most of the time you're going to be looking at anything diagonal. So it's a little bit different. There's Amy trying to bounce. Trying. Would you consider volume the key indicator to break patterns? Yeah, for sure. On the setup though, and the reason I say this is because with AMC we've seen this happen before, but you will not see a crazy amount of FOMO volume coming in until the setup is ready, because that is also where institutions, think about it guys, institutions know about all these indicators and patterns and how things play out. They know about the cycle too, clearly. Remember, this is not something that's going to be pushed out to the people. It's just not. But if they have that information, they know where they have to go in. And that creates the initial push. That creates FOMO. FOMO comes after. FOMO does not come before. FOMO comes after levels are broken, after technical setups are ready. that is where they have to be careful, because when you're setting up the projector, that is where the gates are open, right, for the volume to go up. Prior to that, no. Prior to that, there's a lot of, like, for example, right here, a lot of uncertainty until you establish new levels of support. That's why right here, what we're waiting for is that confirmation on this level of support. And I can almost guarantee you that in the near future, we're going to bounce off of this support trend line to make that projector. It's almost guaranteed, because that is the next level of support that we have, that we need to respect. If we don't respect, then you are going to get downside. You are going to get downside. And you might have it go in the channel quickly, because that's what AMC does. It goes in the channel and then it comes out, which is fine. But you can't be having like a closed candle, a daily closed candle on that. Looking at it on the daily chart, you might get a wick that's a little bit lower, but you're going to get a quick reversal. So it's all, I can almost guarantee you that on the first bounce here next week, that it's just going to bounce up, you know, to create this. Like, it's just, I can't wait for the weekend too, because I want to see what Ethereum is going to do, Ethereum Classic. You guys know that we've been tracking it and we've been doing its thing, so I'm excited to see what's in store for that. In the end, we're gonna see some major, like, some major push or downfall, right? For sure. Yeah, man. Yeah. Crypto's gonna have a rally, yeah, in the near future. In the near future. But yeah. If you guys, like, I know, like, the majority of you understand it this way, but I promise, guys, like, if you just saw, like, AMC as if it was, as if there was an agenda for it, it would make you feel a lot better, because you're not expecting a certain thing to happen and for you to miss out. This is the thing that calms me down, is the fact that I have all these indicators pointing to what's happening here. So it's sort of a relief knowing that, you know, there is a second chance, and the second chance is on that projector. But a lot of the times, that's what drives FOMO. FOMO is a fear of missing out. So when you're FOMOing up here on extremely high levels, you have to consider everything else that's happening. Not only on the cycle, but from a technical perspective, what these fucking fuckers are gonna do. And personally, this is one thing that has me, you know, on the safe side, is like, okay, well, now we had our rally. Now we're at this level. We're taking a breather. It's fine, and then we'll go up again. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna chill it out and wait, because it's better to. It's a lot better to look at things these ways, guys, because or else it's dangerous. You can lose a lot of money if you just FOMO at the top, and then you're gonna freak out, you know, when this thing's coming back down, and then it starts to rally again, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, like, I should have held, or I should have sold here, I should have bought here, these, you know, options or whatever, or gotten in on shares, whatever. It's confirmation right here. I think this is going to be one of the most important things. I mentioned last week that I opened, specifically for you guys, I opened a public account, and on that account I bought AMC right at the 18th at 8 o'clock. And I did that because on that, on public.com, you can share what you have with people, like when you buy and when you sell and stuff. And that's why I'm doing that, because in the future, I'm gonna, once we're done with AMC and we move on to other stocks, I'm gonna use that specifically for you guys to track stuff like that or whatever. But I use Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade for that stuff. But that was one of the things I was doing. I bought right down here, and then you're probably going to see here in the near future me come in over here. You're gonna see two of them, because it's a 1-1. You wait a little bit, and then you come over here, and then you buy here, right? Not financial advice, but that is what you're probably gonna see on that account. And if you guys want more information on that, just click the link below. It's a website, tradingwithemotions.com. If you go on that, I have all the charts. I have weekly scenarios. By the way, the weekly scenario this week played out to a fucking T, bro. We went up to that $30 level, and then we came back down right after that. I post those on Sundays, so if you click on the scenarios tab, it'll just bring up that that scenario. So I'll be posting that here in 2 days, the next scenario, and you're gonna get an update on all the charts that I have updated on there. There's all the videos that I talk about the cycle, the most important ones, and then there's a AMC album, of course, because you can't go wrong with an AMC album, right? And then you got all the social media stuff too. What account, man? Hugo Boss, what account? It's so I don't have it on the link yet. If just type in Trading with Emotions at and then Trading with Emotions, and it should pop up. I don't have specifically, I don't have a link for it, but you guys can type it in. I'll put it in this weekend on the website. Okay. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Sub Has the Boss. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's the Discord right there. Yeah, on the public, I will, and then also this weekend I'm working on doing a on the Discord. I'm gonna have a specific section for AMC related like options that I'm looking at personally. Again, it's gonna be for entertainment purposes only, but it's just what I'm looking at. So if you guys want more information on that, just join the Discord, because that is going to be a thing that I'm updating here on the weekend for you guys. Now, Jorge, you will go to $5, my guy. You will go to $5. AMC, not so much. It doesn't work. It has to. It's open. Unless Discord's being goofy and it's like not allowing people to join, but it always, like, I always leave it open endlessly and then it just, is it just disappearing now or what? It should work. Alright, I'm gonna have to generate a new link. This is fucking annoying. Whatever. Yeah, here, I'll put it on the link here if you guys want to be on this. Here's a new link. I'm gonna have to update it on the website. But if you guys want to join that, yes, I am going to be doing that soon. You're more than welcome to do so. And I'll have to update it here on my website too, or else... Bruh, this chick. What are you doing? Yeah, man, for sure. It's the Discord is very, like, dude, there's like, I mean, if I had the option one, there's gonna be like 4 channels and they're all very straight to the point. There's nothing, you're not gonna get none of that fucking bot stuff, nothing. Like, it's very straight to the point. We have a chat, we just all chat in that together like a family. All right. So you know, I want to be more there in the chat when I get a chance to, but I do rate them up. So if you guys do post stuff there, I do rate it, I promise. It's just getting back to it sometimes is a little bit hard, but yeah, very straight to the point, man. She's gonna, nothing crazy on the Discord. So again, that option section is going to be specifically for AMC related, and in the future we're going to be doing the same thing here in this channel. Is going to focus on finding cycles for other stocks, which they do have, and we're gonna that's gonna be the approach here. It's not gonna be technical analysis, it's gonna be pattern analysis, because that's what it is. It's just trying to find patterns that are reoccurring in their own way in the markets to figure out what's a good place to go in, right, and stuff. So we're gonna be looking at that here using cycle tools that we have in for AMC, and I do have I'm working on many projects that I'm very excited to talk about in the near future. So stay updated for that, because that is what this channel is going to be after the squeeze. But during, Amy, that's what it is, baby. Yeah, what I've thought about, yeah, in 10 minutes. I could do it in less. I'll try to do it in less, man. But basically, like, this was one of the first things that I posted today. I was just making sure that people understood that, you know, we're in a different stage, we're in a different setup. You know, the projector pattern is going to look a lot different from what it has been. It's going to be larger not only in height but in time. Okay, these are all, they're all, you know, smaller, and they start to increase in the way that they look. So that's why I'm ignoring what is happening back here, and I'm focusing on what this is going to look like. And right at the top, guys, I called, you know, for this setup here, okay, the scenario here on July, okay, if I bring it up, this is exactly what we talked about here. And look at how it's playing. I mean, it's just crazy how it's playing out. But we've been talking about this for almost 3 weeks now. And so some guy, dude, Aaron, he made $150,000, okay, doing this. He made $150,000, that guy. I'm just like blown by that. It's insane. But this is the cycle that we were tracking here. Not only this, but there was five other indicators that we were tracking, and everything seemed to line up with this setup. Now, the reason I called for a $28 level around that range and nothing more is because we had that major resistance. Okay, so that major resistance called for a downside, and that's why I didn't say anything about a squeeze happening that day. I said that would have been a point in which we would have probably create a handle on that macro cup to make a projector, and that is currently what we're doing. So I do think that here in the near future, if we respect this support line, we're likely to just stagnate our way into this next zone. So I think maybe on Wednesday next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, we might get a bounce around 21, and we're gonna slowly make our way up, and maybe right around, let's see, so I would say right around April 21st, 22nd, we would start going up for good if the projector succeeds in our favor. If we succeed, I always get those mixed up, succeed, fail. When a projector fails, that means that we go up, we succeed. But when it succeeds to stop volume, we fail and we go down. So I know it's a little tricky the way I word that sometimes, but we need to have enough volume on this right here. And the algorithm, what the algorithm knows, one of the things that I'm bullish about is what happened back here, because I don't believe we were supposed to go up to 34. I think that was the overclock that I'm talking about. I think us going to 34 was not supposed to happen. I think we were supposed to stay at 30, and then we got too much FOMO coming in, and it overclocked the threshold, and then that's where they're like, oh fuck, dude, I think we're fucked. So we got to make a projector. They know that. That's the agenda. This might have been that like cross on the threshold. This might have been that indicator, and now they're starting to set up for the next run, which is soon. And this is where they go in, you know, they go long on options, they go long on shares, they set up for it, and then this is the final, basically the final way that we can go up is if we get not only enough FOMO coming in here, but them also going long on the stock. The institutions, not the shorts. The shorts as well, they can if they want to, but you know, with whatever fucking margin or whatever they have to be able to do that. But is it going to cancel out, you know, is it going to cancel out what they're currently short? I don't think so. So along the way, you're going to see that ripple effect taking down all the shorts, unless we get another cycle that would make, so basically we would hit a price target and then they would take us down again. But if we do not pass this, then you would see a break on this level of support, and then we would have to wait until, in my opinion, the next point of interest that I'm looking at is August, early August, late July. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Dogwan John, thanks, dude. You're welcome. All right, I also just edited the website, so if you click the website below and you try to join the Discord or whatever you want to do, it's updated there for you guys. All right. We got about an hour and 30 minutes left. No, so bro, I'm thinking end of April. But what I'm saying is that the next, I call it a point of interest because based on the cycle, there's only a few points of interest in the cycle that indicate upside or downside. Typically, unless the setup is ready to go, and like there's a couple of things that could happen, right? If this is ready to go and we make a projector pattern, then the cycle is not going to matter when this goes up, because you made a different cycle. Now the cycle is bigger and it's doing something else. It's the same thing that happened back here. We made a projector and then we went up and this was a new cycle. Prior to it, there was a different cycle. It was a lot smaller. It's the same thing here. So that would be the indicator, and it so happens to be that time is what I call the blue pattern is a reflection of the June run up. so is the projector pattern, but the blue pattern is something that happens every cycle. It trades flat, but it trades very similarly to the previous patterns that are happening, and it so happens to align with the current setup that I have here going up. So the only way that would happen, man, is if we got a breakdown on the projector. That would be the only way, and I say that to you guys because, you know, I don't have control over the algorithm. What I do have is these points of interest that are playing out. This was one of them. That's why we went up, and I'm telling you that the next one that I'm looking at is going to be end of July, early August. That would be looking at the cycle. That would be the next one. That's why, like, we need, like, this needs to happen here in August, or by the end of the month, April, or we are gonna get another like 2 cycles in between. It is what it is, man. That is how cycles work. It's shitty, but there's very little that can happen in between. We would not go up on June 3rd. Like, a lot of people think that we're gonna squeeze, like, oh, like 1 year anniversary, we're gonna squeeze on June 3rd. No, that's not gonna happen. It doesn't align with the cycle. The hooch. Bro, where can I find more info on the cycle theory? The link below, dude, I made. So if you go tradingwithemotions.com, go on the video section, and it has 6 videos, or 5 videos on the most important things. If you want to know about it, I recommend you watch Blue Pattern and watch Cycle Sessions. And if you want to know how, like, they work, I would watch Cycles and Fractals. Those are pretty good. There's also Why the Cycle Works, part 1. At some point I'm going to make a part 2 just to sort of update what's been happening here, but part 1 is pretty good at doing that. All of those are the main ones that I recommend. There's a lot of videos, guys, but those are going to be the ones that are more like lesson based. Cycle Sessions, though, I would say number 1 for sure. Yo. Wow. Whoa, what just happened there? That was weird. Battle of 23? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. This is just blowing my mind though. Like, I just can't. Every day, man. Every day the cycle just keeps on blowing my mind. Just the way that things play out is shocking to me. It's like when I first found out, like, it was like, okay, well, honestly every day just blows my mind, like, more and more, but it just starts to get ridiculous at some point. It's just like, how is this even happening? How? Johnny, realistically, no, I don't. Not next week. I realistically, like, from what I've seen in the past, personally, I would be looking at again, that end of April time. Remember, guys, this play is specifically made to bore you out. Okay? Yeah, there's a lot of happiness up here, a lot of good feelings, right? And then they do this crap and it's like, it sucks, and you just want it to keep going up, like, you just do. That's what you want. But it's again, we're on this channel and we are bouncing off of just this first level of, this is a parallel channel, but the major resistance that or the major support that we're looking at is on this bottom right here. This is the one we have to bounce off of. This one on top is bouncing off of right now, is acting as a fib level support trend line, but will likely break out next week on Monday or Tuesday before bouncing off again and going up. That's why I'm waiting, personally. Now, it doesn't mean that we we can't go up, and it does not mean that we, you know, that is just something that I'm looking at based off of the projector pattern and how it's played out in the past. As far as the structure of it, it's going to be a lot larger, a lot bigger, and you know, all of them respect this line right here. All of them do. If I go back in time to this one, what did it do? The same thing. Respected that. In fact, this one, see how it comes in the channel very quickly? Got a lot of people upset right here, and then it just starts to go. Okay, there's one. And we come back here. Okay. All right. And this one, okay, this one's a little bit different, but it still has a support level. So you're going to see it right here, right here. So it works a little bit different in the way that it goes up, but it still makes that arc pattern. Okay. So, and you kind of have to go like really, really small in here. This is why it matters. Okay. But you have to look at it from right here, and then you might have to extend it just a tad bit like that. Goes in the channel, 1-1, and then it goes up. Again, psych out, goes up. And then you have June. This one you can't see because it's on the 30 fucking minute. Let's go on the hour, see if we can see it. But they all respect that level that I'm talking about, that support level. Now this one had too many projector patterns, but they both had a level of support. See? 1, 1. 2 little ones. I would consider this one to be the projector. Okay. 1. Whoop. Up, down, up. Okay, so I don't see us doing that yet because it doesn't seem like we have came down to test that level of support. Seems like, you know, not impossible that this is where we end up and then we go up, right? But the major level is down here. So that's what I'm looking at, man. I'm giving you both scenarios here. Yeah, dude. Stevie, a good way to keep track is the cycle, because it like basically gives you it gives you hints, knowing, you know, where it is that these volatile events are likely to happen, and this was one of those, right? So this is a good way to track it and set yourself up. This is why I'm bullish, is because right now it seems like we're making that projector. Okay, this is a very, very similar setup that I've seen, and this happens on every stock, guys. A projector pattern is not only a meme stock thing. Projector patterns happen on every stock that has a major run-up. Unless you're a stock that is trading sideways and you have amazing earnings, or they do some like bullshit catalyst, and yeah, you're gonna go straight up like that. But AMC is not that stock. AMC is very particular in the way that it behaves, and we've seen this happen before. So that's why I'm calling for this projector. But you won't know that. You won't know that the shorts have covered until the short interest goes down. And you're going to start to see the short interest go down as the price moves up. And then once the price starts to come back down, you're going to start to see the short interest go back up again. So it's a weird effect, but this is the short interest, right? Short interest will go up or down as you are coming up in price, and then once you're up here, you're gonna see it go back up. Okay, it's a really weird effect, but this is your how you know that they've covered is, you know, when that short interest is really close to that level of 0. But it honestly, a lot of people are gonna be looking at like 5% or 10%, because in between there's gonna be people jumping in on shorting the stock because it's going up so high, and they think, oh, maybe 100 is the limit, or maybe 1,000 is the limit, or 10,000, whatever. There's going to be a lot of different institutions, and not only institutions, but a lot of retail trying to short the stock too, and that you're going to see a surge in short interest at that point. So it's going to be kind of hard to tell, but you will start to see it come down when the price goes up. But right now, we're not seeing any of that. This is purely them opening up the gates on the shares that they've stored away that are your shares, and they call them retail rally, when in fact it's an algorithm controlling the price, and they're just opening up the gates to their own, basically their the shares that they that again the shares that they're storing away. Yeah, for sure, man. Do I take Max Payne seriously? No. It's one of those things where it's like I look at it the same way as like earnings, you know, where it's like, yeah, it could play out to in your favor, but at the same time, it at some point, I think they're gonna use it against us, especially when the price action is going up. Like, because there's been multiple instances where, yeah, Max Payne does play out, right, and we land on Max Payne, but there has also been instances where it doesn't. And just imagine if we have a rally in the future, you know, to, I don't know, let's say we go up to 77 or whatever, and they're like, oh, dude, Max Payne is at fucking, but Max Payne is at 20 this week or whatever, and then people get psyched out, and then the price continues to go up afterwards. It's very common of these institutions to bring in, you know, these weird tricks right before the rally, because Max Payne wasn't a thing until about, you know, this range, and then it started to become very much known in the community. It wasn't a thing though, like it was always a thing, but it wasn't like something that a lot of people knew about. And when you bring it up in the mix, that's where it becomes dangerous, because then a lot of people start, you know, focusing on it. And then kind of like the Clove thing that we were talking about here, Clove and MULN. You know how they're right now, there's a similar setup that MULN has that Clove had in the past, and you know they might use that in the future to sort of, you know, if we have another cycle to rally MULN when AMC's coming back down. And you know that was a thing that a lot of apes were, and not just apes, but like just people on AMC and GME were talking about as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to make money on that, sure, whatever. I'm just telling you what they're doing to make some people basically sell off and make them think, or disappointment, really make them think that, wow, other stocks are rallying and we're dumping, like what is going on, blah blah blah, you know. That is what is happening, I think, with MULN, because they look stupid similar. If I could pull it up, maybe I still have it. I still have it on here. Where it at though? There it is. So here's Clove, and I update this every once in a while here so you guys can see it, and then we'll pull up MULN, see what they're doing. You can see that we're right here currently, and you can see that they're trading inverse, very similar to what happened back here with Clove. Okay. As the price starts coming up, AMC, you know, is just trading sideways, and then it starts to dump, right? And AMC goes up beforehand too. So It goes up first, and it dumps, and AMC goes up, and then right around this range, okay, you start to see them decrease, right, and do some sort of like really, really just die down in price. And then once they come back, now you know in your head that there's another stock that was rallying in the community that a lot of people were talking about. And then they'll bring AMC up, okay, just like they did back here. And then right as AMC starts to come down, they start to pump Clove. Or back here, they started to pump Clove right as soon as we came down. And what did that do? In my opinion, what that did was, well, a lot, because, dude, if you guys were not here for this, I remember this day. I remember what happened back here. And let me tell you that a lot of people were upset because, yeah, this was something that people were talking about. And then as soon as we came down, all of a sudden you saw Clove rally. And some people say, like, oh, it doesn't have anything to do with it. It's a psychological thing. I'm not telling you to buy or sell or not trade Clove. I'm just telling you what they're doing from a psychological perspective to make you upset, not to make fucking retail talk about like why we shouldn't go in on other plays or anything. No, this is specifically to make you upset, singular you. And I think that we might have a similar scenario back here, because if you compare these two stocks, they look very fucking similar. They look very fucking similar, and it's crazy that it's happening around the same time too. Maybe I should take this box away because it's in the way. Get out. There we go. You can see how these like similar spikes are in the same time. Like you can even see right here, it's starting to go back up, and then it, might get a dip here in the near future. Now, why is this important? Because when did this happen? Around the same fucking time frame too that we're looking at here on the Fourier transform. And not only that, but here's the projector pattern for AMC going up. Obviously, this one's bigger, right? So you might even, this actually, it's really hard to tell, guys, but if this is the case, then if in the near future there is like some sort of rally on MULN, that might be the last one to come back down, since this is going to be bigger. Remember, because they're different setups. So I don't know how they're using it specifically right now, but if that is the case, then you might have one more and then come down. But it's unsure, and I'm personally not in on this play. I'm not pushing this play, nothing. I'm just telling you the correlation that I'm looking at here between both. So that is that. That's the update for that. All right, where's the music at? What happened to it? Who do you think is loaning out the shares? Fucking the institutions with the most amount of money, which are going to be, and this is all, nobody knows, but if you look at the ones with the most amount of money, it's going to be, right, like BlackRock, Vanguard, those guys are the ones with the big bucks. I mean, the amount of money that they have compared to Citadel is, you can't even compare it. It's way, way, way more. Citadel just focuses, and Melvin Capital, them focus very specifically as market makers when providing the liquidity for options, and they're the ones in the deep, they're the ones in the shitter, right? Because they're lending out the shares to them, and this is what makes them like the big narcissists. These people that are lending out the shares, the institutions, because they're almost like. They're fucking with both. They're fucking with retail, and they're fucking with the shorts. Because on one side, you're really fucking with us mentally, like not understanding, what the fuck's going on. Like, Well, a lot of people, right? Until you catch on to the game. But and that part of it I would consider a theory, because nobody know like that. That would be a theory in my opinion. But if that is true, then they would be lending out the shares. And yeah, they're gonna basically squeeze those guys dry, bleed them dry, squeeze them dry. Yeah, at some point, lending out all these shares, and those guys are like, oh, we can stop this, we got this, and those guys are just chilling in the back, making money on the interest on the fees that they just lend out. Those guys are making bucks, my guy. Those guys are making bucks, and they're long, by the way. They're long AMC. I mean, they hold a lot of shares. That's why they're able to lend them out, because they hold so many. Amy moving? Let's see. Yeah, spam the chat whenever I do that, because I get sidetracked here. Spam the chat whenever we go up. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. See how this plays out. Yeah, me too. Well, what do you guys want to do? You want to rally or what? What do you want to do? I'll rally. Rally around the family? Is that what you want? You want to rally around the family? Rally around the family. Alright, let's rally around the family. Let's get it. You get a little rally here? I'm down. I'm down for a little rally. Why not? Why not? Alright. Let's fucking go, baby. Amy, you are long overdue for a fucking rally, bro. You're way overdue. You are way overdue. Let's go up $2, bro. Fuck it. Let's complete that Ethereum Classic setup. Throw elephants in the chat. Let's get it. Throw elephants. Oh my god, look at all that volume. Holy shit. How much volume is that? What is that? What is that? Oh shit, 455,000 in volume right here. Back to back. Oh fuck. Yeah, we need to feel that bass. Take over. Get it, baby. This is Safe and Sound by Justice. Safe and Sound by Justice. Yeah, you feel that, baby? You feel it? Alright, so this is what I'm looking at here. As far as the price action goes, if we want to continue a rally, which I'm not at all, like, dude, if this goes down here, that would be the, so what I'm looking at here, let's go on the 30-minute real quick. You are going to get a short-term bounce on this, okay? Wherever that goes, doesn't matter if it goes up here, does something like that, okay? Today, be a V reversal, that would be pretty high, but let's see what it does. So this is one right here, obviously, and this is the other. Yeah, we got to cross two, obviously, for it to be like a very bullish thing. Let's see, man. Let's see. Right here is support. You want ABBA? Is that what you want? I'll give you some ABBA. You gotta turn the volume down though, or else your ears are not gonna love it. Cause that I don't have on. I'm playing Spotify right now, but ABBA I got on the desktop here. There you go. Let's get it, Amy. You know what? Next week, though, once we get that bounce, like full macro bounce, it's gonna be awesome. I'll keep you guys updated. But in the meantime, I would be off. It would, like, if we went to like 24 today, I mean, that would just be great. Or at least, I mean, if we just keep pushing up, that would be awesome. You want to respect this for sure. Go up. it happens here at 2:30 Central. That's typically where you get a more volatile move. I'm gonna answer some of these questions real quick. Okay, so just real quick, man, like, I'm gonna stay on this. I just want to answer this. So, in order for gamma to happen, okay, obviously it's you will not necessarily see it happen the day of. It's spread apart. Typically, if anything, you will see it happen the week after. Options go in the money. But you have to consider this too, okay? Do you know what stops a gamma from happening? When there's new options that are open, when there's new premiums that are out of the money that they have just been sold at extremely high prices, and they just opened up a bunch of fucking options that a bunch of people bought. So that's a gamma killer right there. If you're hedging your position and you're buying those contracts, it's going to cancel out because now you have a lot more that are out of the money versus contracts that are in the money. So it's a way to hedge your position. That's why options are huge when it comes to controlling the price action of AMC. One of the indicators that you look at prior to runs is that coming in, right? So it's a little fucked, man, but that's why I personally do not see, just next week, I personally would not see that happen. I would see it towards the end of the month because you have a lot more time to spread out. There's a lot of people that also buy options now that are in the money, right? When you see these bounces that are happening, and that will slowly create that momentum that will initially cause that squeeze, because over time you will see it go in the money for sure. Yeah, Matt, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, this play would not really be a thing if it wasn't for options. I said this before. Go look at a stock that does not have an option chain. Go compare it to AMC. It's a lot easier to drive up the play because all the money, guys, the majority of the money, like, is going to be in on options because that is where they have so much. You have so much leverage when you play with options. It's ridiculous. Like, and bro, that's 1,000% where all the money is in options. Is retail? No. There is a lot of retail that buys options, yes, but the majority is going to be driven through like larger institutions or larger holders with more money. A retail is mostly going to be in on the shares. What, like check? What about Hycroft Mining? Check it. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're both down. I mean, yeah. It's part of, it's becoming part of the sympathy play, right? Because we hold a pretty large stake in that company now. But overall, man, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stocks, guys. There's gonna be a lot of stocks that will squeeze when AMC goes up and GameStop goes up. There's gonna be a lot of stocks that do. I gotta put this. Bruh. Yeah, I mean, nobody should tell you what to buy or what to sell for sure. I mean, you do whatever you want. I think, yeah, I think people should just inform people of the risks associated with, specifically with options, because they are risky. If anybody would have told me before I got into them, that would have been awesome because I learned my lesson the hard way. But that's why, you're here now. It's, I think anybody should inform themselves, and basically you should honestly, like, paper trade. One should paper trade, not you, because it's not financial advice, but one should paper trade options, if they're ever trying to get into it, because it really makes you understand your risk, and how you can actually lose all your money, because that's the problem with options, is that you can lose all your money in a matter of seconds. Unlike shares, you don't lose all your money in a matter of seconds. You just lose value, but you're almost guaranteed that value back if you just wait it out a little bit, depending on what risk, right, you have with that stock where you buy. But with options, it's not. It's different game. No, shares, no, free float cannot be more than shares available. This has happened in the past too with AMC. When it first started to go up, the same thing happened. A lot of the times you see that with, you see the share, the float being traded over and over on the stock when there is like really a really big catalyst or something. And we saw obviously that Highcroft was acquired, partially by AMC, so that's a big catalyst for Highcroft. So naturally, until you get a full new share recall and stuff like that, you are going to naturally get that share traded over and over, and it shouldn't, but because it is looked at as like, what the fuck, like, but it does happen. There are a lot of instances where that does happen. Do I think it'll squeeze this year? No, I mean, I think it will. Just because you can't drag this play out forever, man. It's when it goes, it's gonna go. It's one of those plays where it'll be triggered. One thing is gonna trigger the next, and I think we're really close. I mean, I'll tell you this. I think it'll go up to all-time highs this year. Squeeze is one of those things where it really comes down to the agenda, man. Kazuki, thank you, man. Thanks for being here, dude. I'm glad you guys are here, and if you are enjoying it, and if you think you're making money, then fuck yeah, that is the best thing, man. Best thing, the ultimate goal, right? For sure, is to make money. That's the goal. So, again, if you're just joining the chat now, I did say earlier, if you click the link below, you can go to our Discord, man. It's very simple, not a lot going on, but I'm gonna add an option specifically for option related stuff for your entertainment and mine, right? Just in the way that I'm looking at AMC specifically, because that is a way to make money. It is a way to make money, but yeah, I'll be posting that, and then in the future you're gonna see that channel specifically for, obviously, once AMC squeezes and goes up, we're going to be focusing on other plays and other cycles and stuff. But I do want to show you guys so if you go on just so you guys are aware of this and you can use it, this is it's for you guys. I mean, I made this specifically for you guys just because I know a lot of people like to they kind of do stuff like this. So if you go on the website, so tradingwithemotions.com, it'll pop you up with this, right? This is a weekly scenario tab. So this is what happened this week. Okay, I'm gonna replay these every week for you, but I posted this on Sunday. So you got that. See how I have it going up, upward pressure, and then we get that downfall going back down to establish the support that we're currently in right now. Now after that, I did have a little bit of a bounce, but I believe that bounce we are going to probably get here in the near future, maybe Monday or not Monday, I'm sorry, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday next week. So the scenarios are going to be up there for you guys to look at every single week on Sundays on the website. So if you guys want to, do that, make sure you, I don't know, you tab the website or whatever, tradingwithemotions.com. Mm. No, you should be able to paper trade in options too. I would not advise, but just it would be a recommendation to in general for paper trading, which doesn't involve actual money. It's like monopoly money that you know do that. It'll just really make you understand, man, what your risks are. I think you get like $200,000, and then you're able to just trade that as if you had it. And you could do shares too. You could do both. Shares, options, whatever. Look at that Amy going up here, getting a little bit of a push. It probably is going to be a fight to 23. Look at that. Look at that. Now, not worried. Making that money. Hell yeah. You went with the strategy of losing your money and then learned options. There you go. Hey, it goes both ways, man. I'm with you on that. For me, I learned the hard way, man. I did lose a lot of money doing options, and then, I sort of, you learn the hard way, but sometimes the hard way is the best way because, no, I mean, it's not the best way. It sucks, but it does make you very like cautious later, right? Because you're like, fuck, like I could really lose all this shit. It's fucked because you can make a lot of money with options, dude, but you can also lose a lot of money. So, yeah. No, it's the best way. I mean, it's the best way if you... I mean, it's because I can't really put myself in other people's shoes. Well, I'll tell you what, though. Like, I think you're right. I think it is the best way just because, if you don't learn the hard way like that, sometimes, or at least the way I think about it, but there's a different way to do it, man, with not a lot of money. Like, if you lose a lot of money at first, that is considered to be not a lot of money, and it still hurts, it's going to be better than if you, have a lot of money in the future and then you lose all of that because you didn't sort of really look at it the same way in the past. There are people, dude, that have a lot of money that have never like traded options, and then they find out about options in the future and they still lose their money, and that sucks. Some people just, some people I don't know, they have a 401k and then they get into the stock market, or they just have a lot of money that they, I don't know. They just have money, and then there's a lot of it, and then they lose it all because of options. So yeah, I think it's better to just like, if you don't have that much money, to just lose all that and then fucking learn from that in your experience. In my experience, it was a pretty hefty amount of money, I'll tell you that. But you learn from it, right? You learn from it, and that's it. You guys want to know something that kind of blew my mind too? Thinking of this in like money, and it's not the best mentality, but there's a way you can set up like a risk table with how you actually make money. I was gonna make a video on this like a while ago, but I never put it out. But it was on like how you make, or how you turn like $1,000 into $1 million with like the correct math approach math wise. Like, you know, it takes 10 trades, like, and obviously the cards have to be right, but there's a way you manage it. But it takes 10 trades with $1,000, 10 trades to make $1 million if you double your money each time. So you have to do like 1,000, then 2,000, then 4,000, then 8,000, 16, 32, 68, you know, and then you get to $1 million, 1,024,000 or some shit. And yeah, it takes 10 trades, and you just double your money each time if you play the cards right. If you know how to do options, and you basically get 10 right, which obviously on the way there is margin of error for sure. There is room for error. And like, I don't know, dude, it's just the craziest thing thinking about it that way, because I bet you, bro, there's millionaires that set up multiple profiles that work on that, you know, and that's how they make millions every time. They just have like 20 different profiles just all working, or portfolios working on this fucking strategy. It's just 10 times. Fucking $1,000. You get 10 times and you double your money every single time, and you get to $1 million. Crazy as fucking shit. Perspective. Now think about it this way, though. Like, it's hard to do that with shares. You can't do that with shares. It's an option play. There's ways you can double your money with options very quickly. Doubling your money with options is not that hard, in my opinion. I mean, when you get to AMC, dude, with the way AMC goes up, some of the contracts have gone up like 20,000%. You know, on the first run up, it was like 20,000%. So, I mean, we're talking about 100% every time, dude. That is not impossible. There's ways to do it. All right, we got 20 minutes left here. Intraday. Yeah, there you go. What are the odds, right? What are the odds, man? 50-50. But, I mean, options are not 50-50, though. But I think there's good odds, though. There's good odds for sure. If you know what you're doing.
Lying here.
How are we looking with the projector pattern? We're looking pretty freaking good with it. Let's do an update. Look at that. Playing like, basically like expected, man. Let's bring up the TA here. There's the TA setup that we have. This is what I'm currently tracking. I posted this 2 days ago. And this is what we got so far. You can tell because I haven't updated it yet. I updated it back here, and then this is where it started to play out. and we're currently following it, man. Like, look at how this is, guys. This is the cycle, by the way. Cycle is doing this. Look at how we're following this. This is fucking the cycle, and look at how we're following it, bro. We're even going up right now. All right, this is what I'm saying. I would not be surprised if here on Monday, you know, get another little dip. Now it seems to be that obviously this is it's on the upside here a little bit, so I'm gonna push it down. It's 3 o'clock. So yeah, man, Monday does call for maybe somewhere down here, and then we get a quick bounce up. Maybe on Wednesday, early Wednesday, we start to come up. Maybe this push might be a little bit more hefty then, because I do believe you can stretch the height, by the way, guys. The height is ratio-wise. Yeah, I think this one might actually make a little bit more sense. You go whoa. I hate when it does that. You go in and out of channels very quickly here with Amy. So, look, you can even tell on certain spots where it plays out inverse. Inverse, right here. Very specific to it. You might have a couple playing out inverse here. You might see a spike on Monday, Tuesday, whatever. And then it comes back down, essentially, to come back and reach this zone here, which I'm looking at. It's going to be the in and out of channel fake out, and then come back very quickly to do this. This is what I'm looking at. This is crazy, though. Look at that. To a T. And also, yeah, we do have Ethereum Classic going back down, which has everything to do with AMC's price action coming down too, man, for sure. It's a given. It's a given. Matt. Yeah, dude. You are correct, my guy. You are correct. That is exactly why I did not touch options this week. Proud of it, just because I did not wanna. In the past, I have one of the ones that really sucked for me was back here. This is when I first started doing cycle stuff. So I was doing cycle stuff back here, and then we reached the projector. Projector aligns with the cycle perfectly, and I'm over here like, fuck, I'm freaking out because things are about to play out. And then guess what happens? The projector pattern failed or succeeded to stop the volume, and instead of going up, we went down. So that sucked. The thing is that you're still at risk over here, because it's the same thing here. We had a level of support that we broke down, a major one. And we're gonna be in there soon. It's gonna be back here. So if we get a breakdown, guys, and it stays down, like this, then that's when you know that the cycle is gonna be extended. If we get a break up, that's where we get excited. That's where I get excited. That's where you get excited. That's where we rally. That's where we go ham, baby. Yeah, and then confirmation on the next rally. For me personally, what I'm looking at as far as massive gains, not only share wise, but also with options. You when volatility has died down this much, the premiums are going to be lower for all the contracts and stuff, and you're likely not here because there's already options that are open, but if we do start coming back up, and let's say we come up to 77 or whatever, we're right here, you're gonna see them open up contracts to probably 250, 260, and then once we go up to higher levels, we might see 500, right? And they're gonna be expensive. They're gonna be expensive as fuck. So I'm personally, again, on the Discord, I'm gonna be like updating you guys every single day on what I'm looking at with that on that new option channel. So what I'm looking at, but right now I think what I'm gonna be updating a lot is gonna be July 145, probably for myself, because that is going to be obviously the cheapest one, and if I think we're going above that, then there's no reason to get anything before that. No. Obviously, if you want to minimize your risk with, you know, I minimize my risk here on the setup, but once it's confirmed for me, there's a little bit more room to be buying other stuff that is further out of the money. Me. Not FA. Not FA. Yeah, man. Thank you for chilling with the squad. When I say, like, I know I don't specifically read out some of the stuff that you guys say. I just reply to it, but you know who you are if I'm replying. You know who you are. Unless it's like a question, then I do read it out loud. But if you're just saying something, I just respond as a person, man to man, man to woman. All right, we got 10 minutes left, guys. Intraday, 10 minutes left. There you go, Matt. Going ham with it. Nice job, dude. Yeah, you guys, those premium, or yeah, they went really high. Volatility really kicked off those. Pugs are us. Hi, what's up? So they're gonna halt during the day multiple times. Do I expect a halt? I personally don't expect. Unless there's something on Wednesday next week, I don't expect a drastic halt like we had, because halts will typically happen on a continuous, when there's continuous momentum to the upside, which is exactly what we got here, and you got that on that major spike. But if we're coming back down, halts are going to be, they're going to be a little bit tricky. If anything, maybe around this range or right up here. I don't think so right here. AMC having a little bit of a rally right now, trying to go up. Ivan. Yeah, I'm feeling better, man. Just, you know, my voice. But everything else, I'm feeling good. Thanks. Are we tracking the yellow pattern? Yes, we're tracking. I think we're tracking the yellow pattern. That's what I'm looking for. This is my my setup here for the projector pattern as far as this price action goes. And what I did call for was if we get a inflow in volume, FOMO, kicking in around this level as we're respecting the support line, then we would get a kickoff by the end of the month, towards April, end of the month. Anywhere after, probably around April 18th to the 20th, we would start to get a kickoff. And then going into the week after that, which is the final week of April, we would go. And then going into, now this run-up is going to be, it's going to take longer than the previous one. The previous one took 1 week. This one is, if we do have a leg up, I would say it would take about 2 weeks. If we have the squeeze is going to take longer, probably a month. You have some volume kicking in here. Alright. I mean, look at this. Hey, you can see right here, guys, this is a projector right here. Right here. Do you see how it rides this wave? And then it goes up? It's a projector right there. And this is a nice explanation because you have a lot of downside. And then you have a, you got your bottom here. You start to go up, and then you get a rally, and then they bring us down, and then you go up, right? Here, I'm going to show you guys something real quick. Just, obviously, there's 7 minutes left, but we'll see where this takes us. But here's something else to see, like, this is why I refrain from, I like to look at things at where they're at. And if I have to use a pattern and stretch it out just to see like how things are looking, I will, just because it's good reference. But I really do look at things from a lot of different perspectives. Because here, looks, you could have put this right here yesterday. You could have. And, sometimes we get carried away with those things like, oh shit, like, dude, I didn't even touch this pattern. It's the same time frame, everything. And it looks very similar to it, right? Like what's happening in August, very similar. But then what happens, right? We do the opposite and we fall instead, right? So now you're playing out this pattern inverse. It's exactly what's happening right now. Flip it, you get that, right? You go up and then down, whatever. So it's really hard to, have that faith with all of these patterns that are reoccurring, because they don't, at some point they fail you, man. They do. Well, we're getting a nice little bounce, which is good. You can't complain. You're getting a nice little bounce. Looking good. Coincidence as to why they have a similar market or market cap? They've met cycles. Cycles merge together as they slowly start to separate when you see the price action go up. So it's very likely that even though they're trading at completely different price levels, that their market cap is going to be similar. Also with in how the ratio compares to the shares outstanding. I mean, those two share very similar. They trade very similarly to each other. And there's a lot of the same people holding both at the same time. You got a very similar audience on both stocks. Yeah. Name of the song, this is Sam Ivan. Let me see. How do you spell it? Ivan. Yeah, this guy's awesome. I love this guy. Yeah, I'll be here on Sunday too. I do Sunday late night Q&A, so I'll be here on Sunday. Chill it out. This time I'll have my beer that Nana bought me. Simon bought me too. They both bought me beers, so I still have to drink them up. Maybe I'll drink too. Q&A with some beer. Got 3 minutes left. Yay. Yay, but nay, right? But it's all good. Don't matter. Just being patient. Look at that, beautiful. That's honestly, guys, this could not be more beautiful, in my opinion. In my opinion, this could not be a more beautiful chart. Okay, just wait it out. We're gonna make a projector. Okay, and we're gonna chill. We're gonna chill it out. Chill it out, baby. Oh shit. Oh shit. You know what I mean? That is what it is. Aldo, thank you, man. Johnny, the fib level would take into place if they repeated the cycle. The fib level that many traders are looking at would bring the price up anywhere to 260 or 300. That is just specifically based off fib levels. If we ignore the squeeze approach. That is only if we ignore the approach, right? But if you're looking at the squeeze, nobody knows the price. Nobody knows. Yes, or Wesley, when volatility comes down. Yeah, volatility is very important. Apply volatility, and then when you start to see it behave weirdly as well. Very weird. All right. We're about done here for the day. We're going to close at... we are going to close at 23 at least, so we do get 23 as a good level here. Going into after hours, again, you know, there might be something going on after hours. Just like what happened yesterday, there might be some volatility after hours, but what we're looking at currently is the setup. I'll do a quick update here for those of you that just came in, but basically what we're looking at is a macro, the start and continuation of a macro projector pattern setup like we have had in the past, but it's its own setup, okay? So they're all, you know, it increases in the way that if you're looking for a new price target, you're going to go to a larger level. Naturally, the projector pattern is going to look bigger. It's not going to look the same size. So it's going to look bigger in height, and it's going to look bigger in time too. So that's why we got this guy right here. If we continue to follow this into next week, what we have is this macro cupish and handle that we've been looking for forever. Okay, triple bottom going up here. You can call it a cup and you can call it a handle, okay? And that would call for some upside here around the end of the month in April. Hey, but so far so good, man. We're climbing our way up. I'll be on stream on Sunday night, to do a Q&A, and we'll chill it out here. If you guys haven't already, make sure you click the link below the website. It takes you straight to the Discord. It takes you to all the social media. It takes you to the scenarios for the week, which we rocked this week. This week was awesome. We called for straight up. We did call for downside too, and we got it. So looked really nice. I will be posting another scenario next week. And yeah, man, thank you guys for joining the stream today. It was fucking awesome. You guys are dope. I love you. We'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.